Hello, I am Ali Smith, Chairman of the Minority Business Partnership at the Bay Area Chamber of Commerce. I'm here today to talk about the Michigan Small Business Restart Program. Restart is a $100 million support program for small businesses using federal funding through the CARES Act. Administrated by local economic development organizations, a minimum of 30% of the funding is required to be awarded to eligible women-owned, minority-owned, and veteran-owned businesses. Here to tell us more about the program is Trevor Keys, President and CEO of Bay Future, our local economic development organization. Trevor, what can you tell us about the Michigan Small Business Restart Program?
Yeah, it's a wonderful program. Thanks for having me, Ali. Looking forward to the conversation today. It's a grant program that's leveraging $100 million, of which Bay County businesses are going to be receiving a share of about $3,545,000. So the online application process is an application is available now and will close this Wednesday, August 5th. So it's coming up right now. And awardees are going to be announced by the end of September. So a wonderful opportunity. Lots of different businesses are eligible to apply. Businesses and all nonprofits with 50 or fewer total employees that are located throughout Bay County and Michigan that can demonstrate three things. The first is that a business or a nonprofit can demonstrate it has been affected by the COVID-19 emergency. The second thing is that they need to show that they have a need for working capital to support payroll expenses, rent, mortgage payments, utility expenses, or other similar eligible expenses like that, and that they need to demonstrate an income loss as a result of the COVID-19 emergency. Relating to that, we've been administering a lot of programs, and there have been a lot of programs that have been made available to small businesses since the middle of March. Of note, recipients of other relief programs, specifically the Michigan Small Business Relief Grant Program, or the Match on Main program, or the My Local Biz program, as well as any other federally assisted program like EIDL or Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program, or PPP, that Paycheck Protection Program, are eligible to apply, and we encourage them to apply as well.
That's great, Trevor. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Are all nonprofits eligible to apply?
Yeah, all nonprofits are eligible. They have to meet those program eligibility requirements that I just listed, those three requirements. But all different types of nonprofits are eligible. So this is something that's a little bit different than some of the other programs that the Michigan Economic Development Corporation or that we as local economic developers have been able to administer over the last couple of months. One caveat I would say is that decisions on what businesses and nonprofits will receive grants will be made by the Economic Development Organization's grant review panel based on priorities and needs in our community. And those will be consistent with requirements in both the CARES Act and program guidelines. But from an eligibility perspective, like we said, we want to see everyone apply that's eligible to apply. So get those applications in as soon as possible.
Awesome. So how does one apply?
So what you'll do is you'll go to michiganbusiness.org/restart, and we'll make a link available in this video as well. You can then put forward your application amount, and then you validate that application amount. Businesses and nonprofits can apply for up to $20,000. The grants can be used for eligible expenditures between March 1st, 2020 and December 30th, 2020. Eligible expenditures are things such as necessary expenditures that are incurred due to the public health emergency in respect to COVID, such as any costs or expenditures resulting from employment or business interruptions, working capital to support payroll expenses, rent, mortgage payments, utility expenses, costs related to reopening, a business or a nonprofit, or any other use that's authorized under the CARES Act. What you'll want to have when you go through that application process, it'll ask general questions about the business. It'll also ask general questions about applying for the business. When you log into www.michiganbiz.org/restart, you will have a myriad of different links, specifically frequently asked questions link and program guidelines link that will walk you through some of these processes as well. But you're going to want to, it'll be some of the standard questions like the applicant's business name, the tax identification number. You'll want to have that. You'll also want to have your employer identification number. If you're a private business owner, your social security number. You'll also want to have a W-9 form at the end of the application. You're going to be required to electronically submit one. If you don't have one, the IRS has a fillable one, and we can make that link available as well. It is in the frequently asked questions at irs.gov. So you want to have that as well. You want to have some financial information for some of the questions that are asked. You want to know how many employees you have, some of those types of things. And then the last thing that I would say that you would want to have completed probably before you start diving into the application is the application business certification form. That's a form that you need to fill out that has just general kind of company information that would be included along with the grant amount that you're requesting. The reason why is that this is going to be the agreement between the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, the local economic development organization, and you, that says these are the things that we've purported in the application are true, and the use of funds that we've purported in the application is our intended use of funds, and that we promise that those are the things that we're going to do. So the reason that I'm saying all of this is you're going to want to have all of these things together and ready at your disposal when you're ready to sit down and fill out that application, because you will not be able to save progress on the application as you're filling the application out. So you need to submit the application for it to save progress, and then after submission, you can go back in and edit the submission. But you're not going to be able to stop halfway through, go file through some file folders to look for a employer identification number and just hope that all of the work that you've just done saves. It will not save.
Great. So that is all great information, Trevor, because someone like myself, I'll get in there, I'll start on it, and
sure,
I'll get a little overwhelmed and I'll want to come back. So that's good information to make sure that everyone has their information handy so that they can fill that out pretty quick and not have to come back to it. So could you define minority for me?
Yeah. So as far as the application is concerned, 30% of the awarded applicants will be women-owned, minority-owned, or veteran-owned businesses. Those definitions are outlined in the frequently asked questions and in the program guideline on the Restart website. But minority-owned means that the eligible business is at least 51% directly and unconditionally owned and controlled by one or more of any combination of Black or African Americans, Hispanic Americans, Native Americans, which includes Alaska Natives and then Native Hawaiians, or are enrolled members of a federally or state recognized Indian tribe like the Chippewa Indian tribe here in Michigan, Asian Americans, Arab, or Middle Eastern Americans. So those are kind of the definitions that were set forward by the Michigan Economic Development Corporation and the Michigan Strategic Fund via the CARES Act. Veteran-owned, similar, is that the business is at least 51% directly and unconditionally owned and controlled by one or more veterans of any military branch of the United States. And then women-owned means that the business is at least 51% directly and unconditionally owned and controlled by one or more women, in addition to meeting all of the other eligibility criteria.
Perfect.
You don't
Well,
have to be certified either. I should put that out there for the purposes of the Restart grant. Businesses are able to self-certify as a minority-owned or as a veteran-owned or a woman-owned business. So that should make things a little bit easier as well.
thank you again. I definitely appreciate you, coming in and sharing some information with us so that, we can get those applications in by August 5th to be eligible to get some of that money.
Yeah, exactly. I think one quick thing that I'd like to just add real quick, if you don't mind, Ali, is if you have questions about the application, or if you have questions about the process that aren't, that can't be answered on the website, please go ahead and give us a call here at the office. You're also able to call a customer care center number that the Michigan Economic Development Corporation has put together. Their hours are Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and they're closed for lunch from 12 to 1. And there's a telephone number that they have available on their website. And there's also an email address that's available. So if we can't get the answers to those questions, then we've got another outlet as well. But here to help, as always. Obviously extremely excited about this opportunity, and looking to try and secure as much of that $3.5 million in our community as possible by way of our small businesses applying for these grants. So
Definitely. So thank you. Thank Bay Future and the Bay Area Chamber of Commerce for having us to put this on.
yeah, thanks, Ali. We appreciate it. And go out there and get those loans or those applications for grant filled out before next Wednesday, or this Wednesday.
All right. Well, thank you again. You have a great day, Trevor.
You too.